Hi everyone, it's the Book Cougars, two middle-aged women on the hunt for a good read. I'm Emily.
And I'm Chris, and we're here with our Patreon giveaway for August.
Yes, if you are a member of our Patreon community, you are automatically entered to win a copy of a book. We do a book giveaway every month on the 15th of the month.
For Patreons.
For Patreon. So become a Patreon by the 15th. And if you are a Patreon and you're listening to this, this is
How Can I Help You by Laura Sims. And I mentioned this book as an upcoming read on episode 186. And I have been in a bit of a reading slump. I've been in kind of a life slump, in general, that post-graduation blues, waiting for what comes next. And then also a little bit of a reading slump, too, from Ulysses. Yeah, so anyway, I was just like, okay, this book sounds so good. And so this was my Friday reads last week. I read it in 2 sittings. And my reading slump is like in the back window. Yeah.
Look at the cover. Did we mention the amazingness of this cover?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So it is set in a library, as you can guess. It is about 2 women, Margot and Patricia, who both work at the library. One of them is a new person. The other one's been there for a couple years. She's and this isn't too spoilery because it's on the jacket, but she's a former nurse with a dark past. And then the other woman is the new reference librarian, who's kind of a failed writer in a way, a frustrated writer. So they are observing one another and scoping each other out and become fascinated and paranoid about one another in a way. And I loved every minute of this book. As I wrote a brief blog post about it, and I said my only disappointment is that it's so fast. It's so short. I wanted to keep reading about these 2 women. They're unlikable characters, but I enjoyed them so much. And I don't know, the whole unlikable character thing is not really my issue.
I'm not bothered by that.
I'm not either. Yeah. I really was fascinated. And Laura Sims, the author, is a reference librarian. So she really captured the vibe of the library and what it's like to work with patrons and in a public library, and kind of what you have to deal with sometimes. So I can't say that no patrons were harmed in this book, but I don't want to say too much about the details because it's so good, and it's just a lovely unfolding of how things happen, and it's one of the great library books that you feel like you're there, but there's not so much detail that you're overwhelmed by it, or you start to question, did this person just do a lot of research about libraries, or do they know what they're talking about? Laura Sims knows what she's talking about.
The other thing we've been talking about recently is that we both are kind of in love with this novel that's in between 200 and 300 pages, and this one falls, I think, around 225 or so.
It's like under 240, I believe.
Yeah. So I always love it when an author can tell a page-turning story that you can't put down, and you don't have to spend 800 pages like you do with Ulysses.
Right.
No offense, Ulysses.
All the offense, Ulysses. So become a Patreon member if you are not already, and if you are, thank you so much for your support, and good luck. Hopefully your number will be randomly selected
on August 15th. One other August date, we are going to try to go see Laura. She's on book tour, and she will be in Boston at Porter Square Books, I think on August 2nd, talking in conversation with someone who blurbed her book, Paul Tremblay.
Yeah.
So if you want to join us, we'd love to see you there, and we are hoping to get a copy of this, which is the giveaway book, signed.
Yeah, that would be really amazing, because our last month's selection was autographed.
Yes, exactly. All right, everyone, we appreciate you so much, and
happy reading.
Whoops. Before you get to your happy reading, down below we're going to put the link to Chris's blog post, a link to more information about this book, and to Laura's website or her events page or whatever, so you can follow her tour.
All right.
All right, now
Happy reading.